The laws in the UK concerning people trolling you on the internet are about to change. The government are now considering a new bill where when someone posts defamation, slander, harassment, this kind of thing on the internet, that you don't need to go through any court process to get their details. They're going to make it nice and easy so that you can get their details and you can sue them. And I wanted to look at the other aspect besides the obvious facts, you know, such as, you know, if the troll who's been trolling you has caused you financial loss, social harm, which obviously that's what they were intending to do, that they will have to recompense you, because it's just going to be a case of issuing the summons to that person, and they're going to have to attend the court whether they like it or not. It's as simple as that. You know, it's not a case of like they don't want to go. But what I want to look at here is the other angle here, because it's very easy to say, well, about time too, you know, and at last, you know, the British government have done something about these trolls and, you know, we can sort them out. Yeah, but the British government are a lot smarter than your average Joe. Let's look at this from the point of view where it was announced on the news just a few years ago. That, well, it wasn't an announcement, it was an inference that there was a new relaxed atmosphere about marijuana in the UK. And I remember watching on the news, there were people in Hyde Park smoking joints, and they were showing the police walking past and doing nothing, and everyone was being told, well, you know, yes, and the aroma of marijuana is wafting across the park, and no one's bothered. And people in their droves thought that smoking marijuana in public had become legal, and went out in public smoking marijuana and got arrested. And when they got to court, they said, but we saw it on the TV, it's legal. And the judges, one after the other, said, well, you know, different counties, you know, relate to marijuana abuse differently. But do you know something? Since that day, I haven't actually heard of anyone in any county in the UK getting away with smoking marijuana in public. So many people went out and done it. I mean, can you imagine how many people got arrested? Can you imagine how much the wheels of industry in the courtrooms must have turned? I mean, you must have heard the sound ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching over and over and over again as one person after the other was brought in, having been arrested for smoking marijuana, and saying, but I saw it on the TV and it was legal, isn't it? No, sorry, fine, jail, you know, all that sort of stuff. Now, of course, look at that in the same way in relation to this trolling law, okay? The British government have let this go on for years now, okay? And people have complained all over the place and they've done absolutely nothing. Now, suddenly, not just in the UK, but in other countries, the laws are now changing against trolls. You know, like in Australia, there's stuff in Australia, there's stuff in Arizona, in America. Scotland already brought in laws 2 years ago. And the funny thing about that is that Scotland is part of the EU, isn't it? And when part of the EU makes a law, it affects the rest of the EU. So that law should actually be EU-wide anyway. But back to the courtrooms. Can you imagine now, after being harassed for years by trolls, and some of you will have had one troll who will have latched onto you and not let go of you day and night until you finally lost your marbles with this person, yeah, and decided, that's it, no more forgiveness for you, mate, you know? So what happens then? Well, of course, when the opportunity comes, you're going to take them to court, and the courts are going to hear that sound again. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Money, money, money. Because not only will the people who've been trolled be seeking compensation, but the courts will be seeking their costs. Their costs are very high. Do you know the wages of a judge a day? I don't either, but I gather that you need a wheelbarrow to take your wages home every day. And you see those little trolleys that lawyers pull along behind them. You know, you see them have their assistant there pulling the little trolley behind them. Yeah, it's all full of papers, isn't it? No, it's not. It's full of money. It's full of money. All that paper there is money. The more paper that is in that trolley, the more money. So that's all money. Okay? So you go to court. There's something that most people don't know about a courtroom. You know these black robes that they wear? Well, in the back of these black robes, yeah, there's a funny shaped pocket that looks like a finger pointing. Okay, like that. It's like pointing downwards, like that. And what that is, believe it or not, and this is true, you can check for yourselves, okay? And I was told this by a barrister, because I noticed it on his gown. I said, what is this? He said to me, well, in the olden days, right, when a barrister was defending someone, representing someone in a courtroom, if he said something that the client liked, the client would pop a coin in there, into that finger, so it would go down into that finger. Which incidentally, that finger point thing is a Masonic thing. It's a finger of Zeus in palmistry. The forefinger is called finger of Zeus. So they're dropping the coin down there into that finger of Zeus pocket there. So in fact, they've got a pocket in the middle of their back so that you can pop money in, and that pocket is still there. I don't know whether you could pop coins in there anymore, unless of course they're gold or something, but I'm looking at this anti-trolling law now worldwide, and I'm thinking to myself, it must be worth billions and billions and billions of pounds and dollars and euros and shekels and rubles and all the rest of it all around the world. Because suddenly now we have got, according to these laws now, a world full of criminals that need to be dealt with, and who will be filling up prisons and filling up the pockets of the courts, and also compensating their victims. Yes, do you know, I almost feel sorry for the trolls. I said almost. I don't feel sorry for them at all. It's the same as believing anything that you hear. It's like the Bible says that, in the book of Proverbs, that a fool believes everything he hears. So if a troll, being a fool, believes that the internet is anonymous, they need to bear in mind one simple fact, and that is that your computer is connected to your telephone line. Your computer is like a telephone. That's what it is, basically. And there's codes going through, like a fax. Remember they used to make those noises, the faxes? Remember those things? Okay, well that's what your PC is. It's basically a fancier fax connected to your phone, connected to your phone number, not just your IP, but connected to your address and connected to your name as well. You ridiculous, stupid individuals who have now put yourselves in a position where you are going to be sued left, right, centre, arrested. You're going to lose your savings, your properties. If you've made money in any shape or form out of it, that will be seized as well. Oh yeah, the implications of these laws which are being implemented now, remember, it's like smoking, yeah? The whole world has done it. Doesn't that tell you something? No more smoking. What? Go to another country and smoke. No, sorry, no smoking here. The whole world basically is now a no smoking zone. You can't smoke anywhere inside. You have to stand outside like a 15-year-old schoolboy having a cigarette around the back of the bike sheds. Okay? So now it's the same thing with this anti-trolling law. It's going to turn over, shall we say, so much money. I think that this law is the biggest money maker since the internet. Maybe not that big, but trust me, it's going to be big, and the courts are going to make a fortune. And who runs the courts? The government run the courts. And what do the government like? They like money. Yes, they like money. So I think that here it's a case of an incredible sellout, an incredibly bad day for trolls, an incredibly good day for the courts, and wherever all that money that the court takes goes into the government coffers, doesn't it? That's where it goes. It's a great day for all those people. And it's something that's going to go through, I believe, because it will have the most incredible popular support worldwide. I am so impressed at the way that the British government can find ways of making money, that I'm going to quote the Bible again. The Bible says to you that there's some people that find clever ways of separating you from your money. And I think that this is such an incredibly clever way of making a ton of money that, well, if I had a hat, I'd take it off to the British government, even though I'm no fan of theirs. Wow. Now that is, again, just the most incredible business. As you know, words fail me for how crafty the governments are, especially the British government. What incredible salespeople they are, and what a fit up. I think it's an incredible fit up. I just am speechless now when I think about the volume of money that they are going to make out of this trolling law, and that it's going to be supported by everyone, so it's going to end up going through. Yep. I think some people better get busy taking down a lot of the stuff they put on the internet, but you know, they'll still be traced for it anyway. They have posted their own evidential doom on the internet. They have posted the evidence which will convict them themselves. You've got to admire how smart the governments are. No wonder they rule over us. No wonder.